This is it, people. This is what you've been waiting for. This is Everyday Celebrity Podcast. The podcast for everyday people with everyday problems, trying to find everyday solutions to accomplish everyday goals. Let's start the show. You. Welcome to another episode of Everyday Celebrity Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Owandi. We are the number one podcast in the Bay Area, soon to be global, soon to be international. Today, I have a guest with me. Always wanted to learn about like the tech world, the ins and outs. And we finally have someone who's in that field. So we're going to talk to him about what really goes on behind the scenes, the drugs, like the prostitutes they be buying and shit. And is it really like that one movie, The Wolf of Wall Street? He goes by the name of Hesam.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the podcast.
It's good, man.
You guys speaking to the mic, you gotta speak louder than that.
How loud do you need me to speak? Is this good for you right here?
All right, anyway. Welcome to the podcast. And what's your job? What do you do?
So I work at a fintech company, and I specifically run the sales development team. So basically, for people who ain't in tech, what a sales development team does is essentially goes and gets leads that basically have the right DNA for your company, and then we essentially feed the sales rep to go and close deals. That's the name of the game, baby. So the top of the funnel.
What's the name of the company?
The company I work at is called Marqeta.
And what do they do?
So specifically what we do is we help other companies facilitate cards, specifically like debit, prepaid, credit cards, and essentially those cards are used for things like on-demand delivery services where drivers go and pick up people's groceries, or if you ever use an app like Venmo or Cash App, the cards in that powered by companies like a Marqeta.
So I still don't understand what the fuck you just said. So explain it in like dumb terms.
So basically, you got a debit card in your wallet.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes behind that, right? When you swipe that card at a point of sale, what a point of sale is that terminal, right? It's not just like, oh, you swipe that card and that's that, right? There's like things happening in the background of that. So there's networks, right? So if you look at any card you got in your wallet right now, it's going to be printed with Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. So those are called networks, right? And then there are banks involved too. You might think of banks as like Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, those huge type of banks, but there are a lot of just smaller banks. And the reason why those are like players within the system is essentially there needs to be a pool of money where it's essentially getting pulled out of, right, to make transactions happen. That's why the bank is involved. And then a company like Marqeta, right, that's called fintech right there for you. That's the technology stack, where essentially we put APIs and webhooks, which again might be a little technical, but essentially that's the tech stack that allows all this stuff to happen. So the pushing of payments.
So fintech is the technology that's used when the card is swiped to get to actually take the money out of the...
I mean, that's what Marqeta does, right? But like there's other types of fintech companies. There's companies that
So fintech is just a process? The name is...
Fintech is just a mix. It's literally those two words, right? Like financial, right? So there's finances, there's old school finance companies, right? like a Wells Fargo. And then you got to think about technology companies. We live in the Bay Area. There's a bunch of tech companies. Right now, there's this whole new breed of like fintech companies where essentially it's morphing kind of the financial aspects of what we're already accustomed to with technology, trying to disrupt things, change it up, make it faster, streamline the process, focusing on underbanked, right? So like if you think about it, there's a lot of situations, whether it's out of this country or people coming into this country where they can't get a Chase bank account because you have to have certain criteria to get that, right? Yeah. So again, there's companies like Square, for instance, like focusing on how do we give access to those people that wouldn't have it otherwise. And there's a big ass market for this too, right? That's why there's like all these digital banks coming out. I don't know if you've ever heard of Chime, but that's like a big ass one.
No.
We'll get to it, bro. You got to step your knowledge up.
So, what would be one of the reasons why someone can't get an account at Chase?
Again, dude, so when you come to this country, there's just certain criteria you're going to have to get an account at Chase. Like, you're going to have a certain, like, I don't know, credit score, things of that nature. I don't know specifically the ins and outs of what you need, but I just know certain people have issues of getting a actual U.S. bank account when they move out to the States.
All right, so what were you always into? Was this like what you went to school for?
Nah, man. I mean, I went to UCSD, right? I kind of just went to school, nonchalanting it.
What years were you at UCSD?
I only went 2 years because I went to junior college first. So I went from 2012 to 2014. Oh, yeah, that's when I graduated.
I was gone after that.
Yeah,
I was at SDSU.
Yeah, I know. We've had this conversation. You an old buck.
So what did you go to school for?
I went to school for communication, and it was honestly, bro, like I just did it because it was like the easiest, avenue. I wasn't gonna do some science or biology, something that was gonna take too much brain work.
What's anything specific? Like what specific communications?
Nah, man, it was just as general. Just communication. As that. Yeah, it was communication.
And you only went for 2 years? So
yeah, I mean, because I went to junior college. Yeah.
What junior college did you go to?
Pierce College, and that's in Los Angeles.
So you're originally from Los Angeles?
I mean, I lived there for the majority of my life, so yeah, I guess.
So where were you born?
Iran.
And when did you come to the States?
97, 98.
And how old were you when you came to the States?
6.
And so your family just got up and left, or what was it, a process or what?
Yeah, it was low-key a process. We moved from Iran first to Canada. We lived there for like 2 years. Then we moved to Germany because my mom's whole side of the family lives over there. Was there anything
going on in Iran that made you leave? Was it like a war and shit?
Not a war, but I think my dad I shouldn't say just my dad. My dad and my mom both had the foresight of they actually had it. Specifically my dad, he was about to. I mean, he was essentially retired out there, but again, he knew for me and my 2 older brothers, there wasn't going to be much of an opportunity versus coming to Canada or America, right? America even better. I think he was kind of right. See all the shit that's going on over there.
So you still have family there?
My dad's side of the family's still over there, but I don't really know them like that.
You got dual citizenship?
I don't because I was born in Iran and I didn't go into the army. I think they revoked that from me. So if I go back, I would either have to pay some money or, yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works.
But you're allowed to go back?
I'm not going back anytime soon.
But are you allowed to?
I don't know.
Have your parents ever went back?
I think my dad's planning on going back soon.
Where's your dad at now?
He's in L.A.
Your mom too?
Yeah, she's in L.A., but I don't think she's going to go back.
They're both still married?
Yep.
All right, so when you went from Iran to Canada, where in Canada?
Calgary.
And what was that like? It was like a culture shock?
I mean, bro, I was young as shit. That was before I was 6. So, I mean, I remember it vaguely, but it wasn't a culture shock because I was just a small kid. I didn't even know what was really going on. I was just going with the flow. Maybe it was more of a culture shock for my brothers. Definitely for my oldest brother because he's 8 years older than me.
Did you notice when you went to Canada that your mom, when she was in Iran, did she have to wear all that shit? Were only her eyes?
Nah, it's not that crazy. You just got to wear kind of a scarf over your head.
Did she continue to do that when she came to Canada?
No.
Or did she throw on some like Levi's and shit?
I don't know if it was Levi's per se, but yeah, she put on what my mom puts on.
Did she start dressing? Did she start dressing more like promiscuous?
Not promiscuous. It's just not in the culture. Like, it's not in the Middle Eastern culture. You got to think about it, man. My parents moved out here when they were like 40. Like, they're already embedded in what they kind of know.
40 is still young.
I mean, it is what it is, but when you move with 3 kids, I don't think you worried about being promiscuous.
So, you got 2 brothers?
Yeah.
And they're both older?
Yeah.
All right, so how long were you guys in Canada?
We were only there for like 2 years.
What does your dad do?
Over there?
No.
My dad is a man of all types of trades, so it depends where we're talking about.
So when he came to Canada, what was he doing?
He was doing something specifically in like computer science. I don't know what exactly, but he was working with computers.
So he has a higher education?
Yeah.
What about your mom's?
Yeah. And my mom's. That's why I had to go to school. That shit was no play with me.
What did your mom do?
In Iran?
What was she doing in Canada?
She was being a house mom, man, taking care of the kids. It's fucking cold in Canada. You gotta make sure the little one doesn't fall through the snow and shit.
So you guys went to Canada and then fell into like you had housing, you had a job and shit, all that shit already lined up?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was working out there. He had a
job as soon as he came to Canada?
Yeah. He had a plan, man. I mean, he wasn't going to just move without having some.
So you guys were in Canada for 2 years, and then you went to LA?
Nah, so we went to Canada, and then we went to Germany. So I told you, my whole mom's side of the family is in Germany. Mm-hmm. And we went there for like 6 months. We left my oldest brother in Germany and then went back to Iran for another like 6 months. And the whole reason we left my oldest brother in Germany was because of that whole army stuff I was telling you about. Because when you're like 16, 17, they hold you in Iran. You got to go to the army, you got to pay.
Everyone has to go to the army?
Everybody. Or you got to pay. It's one or the other. Yeah. That's why I'm in a predicament of like, I don't know.
One flat little payment, or
I think it's one little flat payment. So like again, my dad's went into the army, or Iran's army. I don't know what it's exactly called. So did one of my uncles, but I know one of my uncles paid his way out.
How much is the payment?
I don't know, but something like, I mean, dude, this is a straight guess, but I think it's like something like $5,000.
Okay.
Nothing like crazy. It's not like $100,000 or something.
And none of them wanted to go in the army?
It's bro. Again, it's just like one of those things. Like if you grow up somewhere and everyone goes, and that's just the thing, you don't really think about like, yeah, maybe you don't want to go or whatever, but you're just like, all right, it is what it is here. This is, the law of the land. Not gonna question it too much. At least that's what I took away from the people that went.
So what was it like living in Germany?
Again, man, I was super young, and it was only for like 6 months, so there wasn't too much recollection of like living there. Going back to Iran was kind of interesting though, because my parents tried to send me to school, and I fucking ran out of the class because I was like culture shock, to your point. Like I literally, like, even though I was super young, like
getting teased.
Nah, it wasn't anything like that. It's just like in Canada, like the teachers are super nice and welcoming, and like in Iran, the culture is like the teachers are actually allowed to hit you. So I fucking freaked out. Like, bro, I'm not ready for this. Like, I don't want to get
Did
smacked by a teacher. Nah, I ran out of the class before even class started the first day. I didn't go to school. I cut it. And my parents let me get away with it because, you know, they knew we were going to move. So I essentially got to stay home and play like Sega Genesis for 6 months. It was the best deal you could get as a 5-year-old kid. But then again, man, you know, I'm a hustler. What can I say?
So basically, you couldn't hang in the Iran school because it was too tough for you.
Yeah, if you want to frame it that way, I just saw it as, you know, I was at a young age working my sales skills.
Sales skills.
Yeah.
All right, so the second stint in Iran, you was there for 6 months. And then you guys decided to go from where? To the States?
Yeah, we moved to LA.
And how was that process? Was it easy? I'm assuming. It was easy. It's easier back. It was easier back then than it is now.
I mean, again, man. So you got to think about it. These things aren't just like random, right? Like my dad's best friend lived in LA, and he's in the car wash business. So he has a few car washes. My dad's best friend told him, like, hey, move out here for a little bit while you're trying to figure out this stuff, because we were thinking we were going to move back to Canada, or my parents were at least. So they were trying to get our green cards in Canada, and my dad's best friend essentially helped him apply here as well. So we were living here with them for a little bit. My dad started working at one of his car washes, literally like doing car washes too, like washing cars and stuff. So you got to think about that. That was kind of probably a culture shock for my dad. You going from like being this educated person, could have retired in Iran, had this, you know, computer job in Canada, and now you washing cars. But
did he feel some type of way?
Nah, man.
Or he was just like, fuck it, I'm in America, I'm happy?
I think it was just, that. Like, you know, I came here for a reason. I got 3 kids. I want to create the best life for them. And at the end of the day, he created some stuff out of the car wash stuff. Now he owns a piece of a car wash and, you know, stuck to the craft.
What part of LA were you guys living in?
San Fernando Valley.
Okay. Is that considered LA or is that the Valley?
I mean, when you're there, we say we're from the Valley, but like once you go outside of LA, I don't think, you know, everyone understands that. So I say I'm from LA.
So you were in LA at the age of what, 8?
6.
So from 6 to adulthood, you were in LA.
Yeah, until I moved to San Diego to go to school.
So what was growing up in LA like for you and your brother?
I mean, that shit was cool, man. Like, I think that shit, like, looking back at it now, it was, like, very interesting because I think when we first moved there, you know, it was just like, all right, this is another new place. I thought it was just another stop on the ride, but once we kind of like settled in and stuff.
So you were so used to moving, you thought you weren't going to.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a thing we were just doing. But once we really like, I kind of like noticed, like, oh no, we're staying here.
Did you resent your parents because you had to pick up and move all the time?
Not me, because I was like super young when it happened. It was actually kind of fun for me.
Your brothers did?
Not my middle brother. He was super young too, so it didn't really bother him as much. My oldest brother kind of, it messed with him a little bit, especially because we left him, right? Like, we left him in Germany, and, you know, at like 14, like, damn, my parents left me. They don't love me. Like, what the fuck?
Left him where? Like, they left him with someone?
I do. My whole mom's side of the family lives in Germany.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was there with them. And then he didn't want to move to LA, right? Because then he got all situated there, got some new friends there, started playing soccer and stuff. And then my parents forced him to move to LA. So yeah.
So you guys flew to Germany, picked him up, and then.
No. We just we you know, got him a ticket. He flew to LA. We didn't go pick him up. We just had my mom's relatives send him.
Okay. What high school did you go to?
I went to Granada Hills Charter High School.
Did all your brothers go to the same high school?
Yeah.
So they were already graduated when you started?
Yeah, I never was in high school at the same time.
What school? What school did they go to college?
Both of them went to UCLA, and then one of them went and got like his MBA and stuff from USC.
So when you were in when you graduated high school, was UCSD the only one that accepted you, or that's just the one you chose?
No, I was actually gonna go to UCSB. I literally got like a room and everything. I like last minute.
Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
And what happened?
So I mean, yeah, I accepted to Santa Barbara, and basically, because I didn't get into San Diego. Like you gotta that year, you had to have a fairly high GPA.
That's a medical, like that's like the top medical school, right?
I mean, they're pretty big in
that's what they're known for.
Biotech, and then stuff in like the medical field as well as engineering, like electrical engineering, all these different types of engineering. What was your question though?
Santa Barbara. How come you didn't go to Santa Barbara?
Yeah, so basically, I accepted Santa Barbara, got a room and everything, and then last minute, because I wrote a letter to San Diego because I didn't get into San Diego. I got put on the waiting list because you had to have like
San Diego State,
UCSD.
Oh.
You had to have like a 3.5, and I had like a 3.4. And so I had to write a letter, and then like probably a week before school started, they accepted me, and then I just decided to go to San Diego. One of my high school like teammates on my basketball team was already going there. That was the other thing. They were
playing for him?
Huh?
He was playing for him?
For UCSD?
Yeah.
No, he was just going to school there.
Yeah.
Just being a nerd and shit, trying to do better.
Do you regret it not going to Santa Barbara?
Hell no, bro. I love San Diego, man. That shit has my heart.
San Diego's fucking... I loved it too when I was first moved there. Then after a while, that shit gets boring as fuck.
I mean, yeah, bro. I lived there for 2 years. It did its justice. It gave me enough time to be out of LA and realize that, you know.
Where in San Diego were you living? Were you living on campus?
Nah, I was living in PB, Pacific Beach.
Oh, yeah. Little party. What's your favorite bar in PB?
So, dude, we used to go to this thing called PB Bar and Grill on Thursdays. It was Asian night. Yeah. And so UCSD, man, it's a lot of Asian people there.
Is that the bar with all the, where you can, I think it's a bar in San Diego where you just eat peanuts and then you throw the shells on the ground?
Nah. I know what bar you're talking about, but that's not the bar.
Okay. All right. I used to be in PB too.
Yeah, PB's lit.
That shit was kind of... It reminds me of the Mission a little bit because, you know, there's like bars everywhere and shit.
I would say it's more like Polk Street.
I mean, yeah.
Like Polk Street...
Polk Street is cleaner than
PB?
Than PB.
Oh, nah, man.
PB is like a
man,
dirty...
you got it backwards.
Like
Polk
dirty.
Street is a dirty one. PB is way cleaner than that. Polk Street is where you might...
I'm talking about
your phone snatched out of your pocket.
San Diego standards, man. As far as San Diego standards, PB is dirty. It's like that's my version of it. What beaches did you used to go to?
I didn't really go. See, that was the crazy part. I never really went to the beach while I was going to school there. That shit was crazy.
So I heard every time I invite a guest on the show, I do a little research. And I heard you lost your you went to Sunset Cliffs and lost your virginity.
Sunset Cliffs?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
San Diego.
that?
The Sunset Cliffs in San Diego. And lost your virginity in the car there.
Sure.
In your like second year there at San Diego. Is that true?
Nah.
That's not true?
Nah.
My sources.
Sunset Cliffs, though.
You don't know what the Sunset Cliffs is? You never been there?
Is it in La Jolla?
No, it's like right. You know where SeaWorld is, right?
I do. It's
like in that area. It's like the cliffs where everyone like parks their car, and then you can like go down, and then there's like a beach down there.
Nah.
I forgot the name of the beach, but it's over there where like Mission Valley and shit is. It's by the beach where all the black people go. Because you know how San Diego, they have La Jolla Beach where all the rich people are. They have Coronado Beach where all the, like the military and shit. They have Mission, I think it's Mission Beach, and that's like the only beach. It's the beach with the basketball courts, and that's where all the black people go. You didn't get out much then, I see.
Nah, man, I was studying. Trying to get out of school, bro.
Did you ever go to TJ?
Nah, I didn't. There was only one time where I was about to go, and then I
You was in San Diego for 2 years, you never went to TJ?
Nah, man.
Wow.
One of my roommates gave me a bad story because he was trying to go to the Nike store.
That's like the only reason I moved to San Diego.
Was to go to TJ?
No, because when I visited my my cousin, I was in the he was in the military, and then we all went to TJ. And it was crazy to me because you can just literally drive and park your car on the last exit in California.
Yeah.
And then just walk across the border, hop in a taxi, and they'll take you to all these fucking crazy-ass clubs and shit that stay open till like 7. Bitches in there be walking around naked, high off Molly and shit, and ecstasy.
That's your type of vibe right there, bro.
No, that's not my vibe. I mean, it was my vibe when I was young. But I was like, yeah, this shit is crazy. So I was like, yeah, I gotta move here.
I'm just saying the fact that they stay up till 7 in the morning.
No, that's not my vibe. But those clubs out there are fucking crazy. It's Mexico, so you know how crazy Mexico is. So yeah, I mean, I thought everyone, all them little young hoes be going to TJ too, sneaking fucking across the border.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I just heard too many just stories of people getting messed with.
I mean, we did get robbed by the police out there one time.
Exactly. That happened to my roommate. That's why I never wanted to go. Or he didn't. It almost happened, I should say. So I was like, man, I'm cool. I'm good off that.
All right, so being from LA, you were a Laker fan?
Yeah, man.
So were you crying when Kobe died?
Bro, yeah, that shit hurt.
You
I was crying for multiple days.
You were actually physically crying?
Physically crying, bro. Tears coming down my eyes.
Why were you crying?
Because Kobe meant a lot to LA people from LA, bro.
What did he mean to you?
Memories, bro. Like, you just sit in front of the TV with your fam, just watching those games. Kobe doing his thing, winning them championships, in Mamba mode all the time.
So he was your favorite player growing up?
Yeah, bro. I mean, he was one of the reasons why I definitely like stuck to basketball, and I feel basketball definitely gave me the footprint I needed, not the footprint, but the blueprint to like how you got to go about your business.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, again, there's just certain lessons you could get from basketball, whether it's your work ethic, learning how to wake up early and shit, determination, resilience, all that stuff you get through basketball. And that's very applicable to just working, getting shit situated in life. I mean, dude, getting into tech wasn't easy.
But are you good in basketball?
I mean, you already know. This is how we started talking, bro. It's like you saw me on the court and you're like, God damn, who is this?
I think you suck, but I'm asking you, do you think you're good?
Bro, that's first of all not facts, but yes, I'm great.
You're great.
I'm great. I play with a chip on my shoulder. I go about my life the same way I go about basketball,
okay,
bro.
Well, there's what you think and then there's reality. So you think you're great at basketball?
Yeah.
Did you play in high school?
I did. I was nice too.
All right, so when you graduated, what were you like in college? You just like straight up just studying, or were you like a party?
Bro? I mean,
a party dude?
Nah, I wasn't really partying like crazy. I was in a business fraternity. I was really getting I was trying to hang out with my nerdy friends and get my whole career shit on lockdown. I think. Do
you still fuck with the people you fucked with in college now?
Yeah, a lot of them live in the Bay. That was like one of the reasons why I moved out here too, because a lot of them were in my ear. Like, yeah, you should move out here, bro, and get into tech.
When did you move here?
2016.
And you graduated college when?
2014.
So what were you doing in San Diego those 2 years?
Going to school.
You graduated
I moved back to
2014.
LA. I moved back to LA in 2014.
You graduated college in 2014?
Yeah.
And then you moved to the Bay Area in 2016.
Yeah.
So those 2 years,
I was back in LA.
you were back in LA. What were you doing, work-wise?
I was working for an industrial, like, I don't know even how to explain it, but we would sell stuff like manifolds and accumulators. Like think about stuff for like apartment buildings and like airplanes. It was the most transactional sales job ever. Like tech sales is different because it's more strategic. It's not just like, oh, I'm selling you, this can right here. Like here, buy this energy drink. Like tech sales is like really like sitting there and being creative about stuff. Versus my first sales job was very transactional. Like you want to buy one phone, here's one phone. You want to buy two phones, here's two phones.
And you're basically selling software.
Now?
Yeah.
It's a little different, but yeah, essentially.
So your sales, so you know how there are salespeople who, I'm going to use an example as a gym, right? Like people, like if you have a gym, people walk into the gym, so they basically already have the intention to get membership, right? So you basically just got to show them around and shit. And you can already 9 times out of 10 they're getting the membership. So your sales is like the people are coming to you. You understand what I'm saying? And then there's the then there's sales like you're in the mall and you're at a kiosk and people are just walking by and you got to grab the motherfuckers and pull them in and try to make a sale. Yeah. So the sales that you do is more like the gym or more like the kiosk?
It still kind of has a little bit of both because you got to think about it. What I do, my team specifically, is like go in and kind of like those mall people grab people's attention, right? But like once a salesperson, like once we pass that off to a salesperson and they start talking with a potential lead that really has a use case for our platform, which is a lot nowadays because a lot of people are getting into this market. There's very big strategic initiatives that these companies can accomplish with a platform like Marketo. So it's like, yeah, like so to that point, yeah. There's a little bit of the mall selling or us go grabbing those leads, but then on the back end of it gets very strategic.
So you, in your company, it's just not all sales, right? There's a department that does coding, and then there's a department that does all like marketing and shit, right? You're just in the sales department.
I'm in the sales department, but we have everything across the sun, man. Like compliance, marketing, operations, product managers, engineers.
So
front end, back end, all that shit.
See, so you're in tech, so you don't actually have to. If you were giving advice to a person who wanted to get in tech, you don't actually have to be like a fucking, I don't know, like a graphic designer, like a fucking engineer. You can still get a job in tech without that type of background.
Yeah, I think that's the like misconception is a lot of people think like, oh, if someone works in tech, they automatically are a coder or do something with like designing or something, and it's not, right? Like there's other assets to any business. At the end of the day, a tech company is a business. Just like a basketball team is, just like Fortune 500 company. These are all just businesses. So you need these different functions, especially as a business grows. Yeah, maybe like earlier startup tech companies are a little bit more scrappy. There's like 4 or 5 dudes doing like 4 or 5 different roles within a company. But as the company grows and they get the money and, you get to kind of like where my company is at, it becomes more of a full-fledged business.
Is this a business that's been around for years, or is this like a startup?
10 years.
So it's basically kind of new?
I mean, 10 years, yeah. I mean, in the scheme of things, it is relatively new, but it's a real business. It's getting kind of functioning like a startup anymore.
Did you move to the Bay Area for this job?
Now, I had another job at a different startup before this. I got lucky, man. I got lucky in how I got into tech, because it is kind of hard to get your foot in the door, regardless. Like, just because at the end of the day, when you've never had any tech experience, someone has to take a chance on you.
So
I got
basically,
lucky.
you got the job because of who you know, not what you know.
No, I didn't know the dude that interviewed me. I just rubbed him the right way. So that's like, again, just having good communication skills.
So what was the job that you had before this?
It was the same thing. I was a sales development rep. Now I manage a team of those people, but when I first came to my company here, the one that I'm at right now, like, it was the same thing. I started as a sales development rep, and then I got promoted to a manager.
How did you get promoted?
I did good at my job, hit my quota, appease people.
You were hitting your quota every time?
It's not just hitting quota. Rubbing shoulders is another part of it, right? People liking you. Is the people that are, kind of higher up in the company liking you.
So what's the difference between tell the people the difference between the job that you started at this company to the job you have now? So there
is no difference. I just manage a team of those people now, right? It's like going
but do you have to do the same fucking thing that you were doing before, or just tell them what to do?
That's stylistically, like, that depends on who the manager is. Me personally, yeah, like, I'll roll up my sleeves and get dirty. I'm not,
You still make calls and shit?
When I feel like I need to show some people how to do the job, or if I feel like, someone needs a nudge, yeah, I'll get in the hot seat, but I don't do it every day.
So how many people you have working under you?
Right now, 3.
And who's your best seller?
I think they all got their skill sets or assets. Okay, like, they all do.
Who's their best to you? Who
Who
makes the most money out of the 3?
I mean, again, that's situational. Depends on what quarter, right? Like, one person might do well one quarter, one person might do better a different quarter.
So there's not one person that continuously does better than everyone else?
Nah.
So every quarter, everyone has the same quota?
Nah, because I kind of switched up the function. Now I have like an inbound function and an outbound function. So it kind of they're held to different metrics. That was the other reason why it was hard to answer your question.
Okay. All right. So you, who's above you?
So right now,
what are the steps in your company? The step that you started off. What was the job? What was the job title?
It's called a sales development rep.
So that's what you started the company as.
Yeah.
Now you're a sales development rep manager.
Yeah, or a business development manager.
And what's the next
BD
step?
Manager. Senior business development manager, director. Depends. Like, again, it like, depending on where a company's at and how many layers they're trying to implement, right? Because as a company gets bigger, they're gonna probably implement more layers. So I really don't know. I don't think, like, my company isn't like Google status where, like, they have all of this stuff figured out. As the bigger a company gets, the more of, like, that stuff gets planned out. I think right now it's not even, bro, at the end of the day, a title's a title. Like, that shit don't really mean much. It's like, what are you really doing at your company?
Titles mean...
They don't. They actually don't. Like, it sometimes it doesn't even... You'll see directors that get paid more than VPs. It really just depends on, like, the company, the stage of the company, who you got hired by, how you got hired. All that stuff matters. So I wouldn't get too caught up in titles, is what I've realized.
So you... I was about to ask you. So you're basically staying at this
Company, yeah, man. I mean, I'm doing well. I like living in Oakland.
Where's this company located?
It's here right by the lake, Lake Merritt.
Oh, it's in Oakland?
Grand. Yeah.
I thought it was in SF for some reason.
Nah, we're one of those tech companies that are out on this side. That was one of the reasons why I really wanted to originally work there too, is because it's an Oakland-based tech company.
So when you moved to the Bay Area, you moved straight to Oakland, not San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, I personally like Oakland more than SF. It's my vibe.
What do you like about Oakland more than San Francisco?
One, the weather. It's just warmer over here. And I feel like, I don't know, man, like, even though I work in tech and I like it, I just feel San Francisco is like, that's like the tech mecca. And it's everywhere in your face. Versus here, man, like, yeah, you get a little bit of that. I can go dabble in that in work, and I really appreciate it. But, you know, I want to do other stuff as well. See the other things that Oakland culture can provide.
All right, so you work in tech, and let's get down to the nitty gritty. Your experience. Everyone knows tech is like the majority of the people in tech are white, and when we think of tech, we think about bros, like douchebags, frat boys, and shit. Have you ever experienced any racism?
Not at work, not like at my company or the other one I worked at. I think it's like we even went through training around this. It's just called like unconscious bias. Like people just have these unconscious biases, and like again, people are gonna want to work with people that they would want to hang out with outside of work. And so to your point, because it's like a male dominant Caucasian, you know, that's the main group that's within tech. I think that's the issue that a lot of people run into. I've ran into it myself too, where I think when I first got into tech, I just didn't know how to like kind of talk that language. And so it was a little bit of a struggle for me at first.
You never overheard like some white boy saying some racist shit or...
Nah, man, I don't think it's that crazy. It's not that blunt. You got to think about it. It's a fucking tech company. Like people aren't gonna go say crazy stuff. When white people are around
white people, they talk crazy because they know they're around white people.
I mean, bro, people's jobs are on the line. No one's trying to get in trouble for this. I've never seen it like that. If someone that would be crazy. Like you said, it would be, bro, because you got to think about it. Just people got a lot on the line.
Hard to believe or something.
It's not that it's like hard to believe, but I think it's definitely like an outlier thing. It doesn't happen every day, bro. There's no way. Maybe like here and there at like a tech company that's kind of growing, maybe like a Uber or something. There's like cases of that. Certain things come up, but that's just gonna get cleaned up. There's too much money involved in it.
All right, so you know a lot of tech companies, especially sales companies, they want you to like literally stay at work constantly. So they'll get you food, they'll get you drink, catering lunches so you won't leave the office. And
massages,
shit like
we get massages at my company, bro.
How do you feel about that? Like the culture of tech companies where they like try to work you to the bone.
I'm fine with it. Like that's my shit. Like I look at my job just like an athlete looks at, like Kobe looks at basketball. If you're not looking at your work that way, like I feel bad for you because it's just a job, and I'm not ever trying to work. I'm trying to be passionate about what I do and make money doing it.
Would you? So this is your passion?
Yeah, at this point,
what's
right
your
now,
definition of passion?
Something that I get excited to wake up for and make money doing it.
All right, my definition of passion is something that you love to do so much and you do it so good. You love to do something so much that you'll do it for free, but you do it so good that they pay you for it.
I think that
so you would do this for free?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think also I could have made more money being just a salesperson. I'm really good at it. Like I'm good at being like just.
Your passion is just sales. That's what you're saying.
Not sales. I like working at. Nah, it's not. It has nothing to do with sales. It's more of like working at a startup type company and growing it to like a real business.
So you don't care if you have to work and spend like fucking work 13, 14-hour shifts and then go home, wake up 5 hours later and do another 12-hour shift. You don't care about that?
Not at this point. I don't have kids and stuff either, so.
Yeah, but do you enjoy being off and doing personal shit?
I'm doing that right now, right? So it's not like, yeah, it's a balance. You should have a balance with it, but sometimes you need to work 13, 14 hours. And look, man, I'm in a function that I think, again, there's incentives like commission checks where, yeah, it's either you work for that or don't make that extra money. It's on you.
Do you get a bonus if all your team makes their quota?
Yeah, it's something like that. I get like a spiff off each person.
Does your people under you get bonuses when they make?
Yeah, man. They all get bonuses.
So what is I know in tech, I mean, like I said, you guys work crazy hours. And I remember in college, like finals and shit, people got to stay up and shit, and that's usually when drugs come involved. What's the drug culture like in tech world?
I mean, I've never seen people like bluntly just take drugs at work and stuff. Like, if you're talking about like that Wolf of Wall Street, like dudes are going to the bathroom, handling their business, coming back, doing the whatever else, the Kenol or whatever, bro. It's I haven't seen it.
No. But have you heard someone do about it? We had no rumor like, oh, Tracy was in there sniffing some shit. No?
Nah. I think you've been watching too much of that Netflix special shit, bro.
I find it. I think.
I mean, look, bro. I'm sure, people like because like people make money in tech and stuff. I'm sure people go party and turn up, might go get some Molly or whatever the fuck else, coke, right? But like for people to come to work and do it, like again, I think. Your mind is hopefully your mind is so focused on the work, like you ain't got time to think about like what fucking drugs you need to be doing at work. Bro, I mean, it has to be because again, if most people are fucking worried about doing drugs, a startup ain't about to succeed. This ain't no like maybe
maybe that keeps them up and gives them energy to make crazy amounts of calls and shit.
That's like I know, for instance, in what like investment banking, because they work crazy hours, right? Like working 20 hours a day and then coming straight back to work, like that's different from like maybe 2 or 3 days out of the week working 13 hours, 14 hours a day, 15 hours, fuck it, right? You still got a solid 4 or 5 days where you got a regular routine, bro. It's not something where you need to be dependent on, I don't know, doing coke in the bathroom and shit.
So what's the typical day like? What time do you got to go to work? What time do you start?
So we come in there fairly early at like 8:30 a.m.
So you start at 8?
Yeah.
And then when you get to work, like? Give me your routine.
So I mean, it changes. It varies for me because I'm a manager.
Like a typical.
But like, yeah, I come in the morning at like 8:30. Have my morning meeting with my team, try to figure out what everyone's doing. Tell them what I'm getting into for the day. I would probably have a few meetings set up that are internal, and then few external meetings, whether it's like getting on a call with my teammates or with one of the sales reps, whatever the case may be, and then have a wrap-up meeting. And in a nutshell, that's basically my day. I mean, as a manager, that's what you're doing. You're kind of quarterbacking things, trying to figure out like, all right, how can I streamline processes? Like, what tools can I get in place? What coaching can I do with my team? At least that's hopefully what good managers do.
How many managers are in your position there?
I'm the only one. There's other people that technically have that title of a business development manager because we have an office in London, but they don't really function the same way as I do. They don't have a team and stuff. They just kind
Are
of
you striving to go to the next level at the company?
We'll see, man. I mean, I think the thing about startups is like things change early and often. So yeah, we'll see where we're at in a year from now.
If Google or Facebook or like one of these top-notch companies call you and offer you a job, but they offer you a job at a lesser degree than what you're at now, but the fact that it's Google and Facebook, would you take the job?
No, why would I do that? That makes no sense.
I don't fucking know, because it's Google.
That makes no sense, bro.
Because
I mean, I've
Google,
already
nigga, that's why.
look here. Let me put something in perspective for you. So I already interviewed with all these companies: Salesforce, Google. I chose to go to this company instead of those.
My
companies.
ex used to work at Salesforce.
And it's not
Shout
like,
out
dude,
to
just because
Sarah
they're
Gatuli.
just because they're big companies. Just because they're big companies doesn't mean they're necessarily better. You're not necessarily going to have the career
But
opportunities.
isn't it better to say, oh, I graduated from Harvard instead of I graduated from Pepperdine?
So what about, here, let me put it to you this way. What about if you joined Facebook before it became Facebook? Is that better than joining Facebook when it is now?
I mean, I think Facebook is Facebook.
No, it's not. Like, bro, what are you going to talk about?
Matter
So
when you, it doesn't matter when you join. The fact that it's Facebook.
Let me paint this for you.
First of all, no one is going to remember Facebook from when it first.
Can I paint this for you another way? Was Kobe Bryant viewed as the same person in 1998 as he is viewed now?
No, because Jordan was around in 1998.
Not only that, it was because Kobe didn't get all the success, right? He didn't have it yet. He was just fucking 18. My point is, bro, if you can join something before it becomes that big thing, okay, you're going to be a part of that. And therefore, that is way more important than joining it once it becomes that, right? By that point, like, bro, another term you could use is bandwagon. You just joining something because it's hot now, right? But if you join something because you truly believed in it and went with that thing and it blew up, one, you're going to reap the benefits of it because that in itself is going to be worth more than any Harvard MBA, any degree you could get. Like, if you were a part of Facebook when there was 20 employees, you're a billionaire right now.
So, what you're saying is, I'm going to use the same sports example. LeBron. You know, when he started in Cleveland and he couldn't get a championship, and then he left. And then they went through those years of being like the worst team in the league. Drafted Kyrie Irving, drafted all these people. Then LeBron went back and got a championship. Do you think that's bad? That he came back when everything was already, when the foundation was already there instead of. Basically, what I'm saying is, do you think is
what is you saying, bro?
If LeBron would have had the championship, his first stint in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
When he first got drafted and when he first went to the finals against San Antonio, if he would have won that championship, do you think that's different than when that one championship he won with Cleveland? Because he left and came back when the team was already. He came back when they had Kyrie Irving already.
What, like
and Thompson and shit.
So what are you getting at, right? We're talking about like
I'm getting at what you just said. You said join Facebook when they first started is different between joining Facebook now. What I'm saying is Facebook is still Facebook. LeBron left, came back, and won a championship with Cleveland. It doesn't matter when he won a championship. The fact that he won a fucking championship. Cleveland is Cleveland.
I mean, it's just not a good analogy because
it's a perfect analogy.
It's not, because the thing is, it's not like, yeah, dude, you can't compare sports that way to a business like Facebook. Like, my point about joining Facebook, if you were one of the first 20 employees there or employers there, like, bro, after that one, you're gonna. First of all, any of the first 20 employers at Facebook are all probably billionaires. Or I know for a fact
I guarantee you, the people who started Facebook don't even work at Facebook anymore, because there's no way you can know that Facebook would be what it is now. I bet you everyone thought MySpace was going to be crazy. And look what MySpace is now.
No, you're 100. You're 100% right.
Those motherfuckers who started Facebook probably moved on to other jobs like YouTube, fucking
first
like
of all,
other startups. Like a shit ton of them people take that knowledge and go work for startups.
Exactly. And you have a lot of money, and you could go invest in other startups and create your own VC fund, like Chamath did, who was someone that invested in the previous startup that I worked at, and he was one of the first 20 employees at Facebook. He's a billionaire. That's my point, bro. My point is that is such a rarity. Like, yeah, anyone, like, I don't want to say anyone could go to Harvard. Like, that's still very much an accomplishment in itself to go to a school like that. But to be a part of Facebook's top 20 first employees or any other company that blows up to that stature, it's such a rarity, right? Like, it happens in one specific time frame. And that's what I'm saying. It's way more valuable than any degree, any title at Facebook at this point, because it's something that could only happen in a specific time frame. If you missed that train, you missed it. You got to go find the next one with the next tech company.
So, do you have any... Well, side note, this is a perfect segue to if any of y'all want to invest in everyday celebrity media before it blows up. Holla at me. But back to the shit. Do you have any do you have any companies that are on your eye that you think are going to blow up that are not in the public eye yet?
Like,
or do you know, like not even companies, like apps, or have you heard anything like?
I mean, so
this is going to be big in a few years. People just don't know yet.
There's a lot, but I mean, specifically since I work in fintech, like I would say, like a company like mine, like people might not understand it fully, but like these type of companies are gonna blow up because it's just like so many different types of companies can utilize a card, right? Like a debit or prepaid card with like spending controls on it, right?
Yeah, but do you think that's the future of currency, or we're going to?
I mean, there's a bunch of shit.
Because
crypto.
First it was cash, and then it's credit cards, and then we're moving toward like digital currency, like Bitcoin, and then sooner or later, I think we're not even going to need Bitcoin. It's going to be on some. We're going to move towards some other shit where you don't even have to use a fucking. Because I don't know if you know, there's a thing in Africa called I don't even know the name of this shit, but in Africa, everyone they don't use cash, or they don't even use card. They use like some type of app where you can fucking, and I forgot the name of it, but everyone in fucking Africa uses it. And the owner of that company is like one of the richest people in the world.
I mean, I don't know if I would frame it that way. I'm sure there might be a small demographic in Africa that uses that. I know, for instance, there's still a lot of people. I can tell you that there's definitely some issues in Africa with just the movement of money. But like I know, like for instance, people like Akon and stuff are doing stuff with crypto. Jack Dorsey's been living in Africa for the past few months. He's doing some stuff with like blockchain and crypto. So you're gonna definitely see some like advancement in technology in like third world countries, and bro, that's gonna be a game changer. That goes back to my whole point of the underbanked stuff. You're just gonna see people being able to get access to what me and you have, and unfortunately, not everyone gets that. So, you know, people like Akon and you know some of these other, these are more high profile people like Jack Dorsey, but like there's a lot of people doing this stuff and trying to really push this stuff forward. So
do you think in the future, what we're going to move more? Cards are going to be non-existent?
Definitely. I mean, we're going to get to a point where it's just like I can already tell you, like, there's companies that like are tokenizing stuff into rings. So tokenization specifically means, like, for instance, if you have iPhone and you have, one of those cards in your phone, that's tokenized into your iPhone, right? So you can make a payment through your iPhone. You could tokenize a card now into your iPhone. You can tokenize a card literally into a ring. You could tokenize a card into your Apple Watch, right? Mm-hmm. And you could just tap it. So that's what tokenization means. And yeah, man, we're going to that next level where plastic is probably not going to be relevant too far in the near future. So definitely payments, bro. Like, fintech is a wave that is going to be interesting to watch in the next 20, 30 years, because the democratization of, like, just financials in general, whether it's giving someone access to a bank or allowing someone to push money from Africa to Japan, all this stuff, bro, is something missing. And if you go way back in the day, like, if you think about how much being able to just send an email has streamlined business, right? Or like a call, like before that, like, think about how people really used to push messages. It was literally through letters. How long does a letter take to get from Africa to Japan, right? Now you can go send an email and it literally takes less than a second. So, like, you got to see that from the lens of, like, where else is that problem happening? Healthcare is another place, right, where there's so many issues in healthcare and how it functions, and hopefully, startups get in there and kind of streamline that and democratize it so people get access to it without having so much frustration of just the bureaucracy within it. Mm. That might have been too deep for you.
First of all, if the tech world gets in it, I mean, healthcare is already... I have views on healthcare. The health system in America, I think, is here to keep you sick.
It's a business.
Yeah, of course. And if everyone gets healthy, they're going to run out of business, right?
Yeah,
so
but that's why
if in order to keep the business going, people have to be sick. You have to be sick in order to buy these pills that we're making billions and billions of dollars on. You have to be sick in order to go to the doctor, where we sell these pharmaceuticals to these doctors. We're in cahoots under the table with these doctors to push these products. These doctors subscribe these medicines to these patients because they're working with the fucking pharmaceutical companies who give you these medicines, and then the doctors are like, oh, we have all these medicines. Oh, you have a cold? Oh, let's try out this new pill that I'm testing. Even though that the pill has nothing to do with you coughing and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I think that whole healthcare system is fucked up, because if everyone gets healthy, like, the people is basically like you're running out of business. So you need sick people.
Or you could change your business model. Right, that's the value of a tech company, bro. That's the value of the startup land.
How can you change your business model on healthcare? Like,
same way that Uber just flipped upside down the business model of taxis. I don't have the answer for it, but trust me, someone does, and it will eventually come arise.
Yeah,
there's a lot of money involved in this too, right? People that can fix these issues, that again create unicorns, which means $1 billion company.
Yeah, you basically fucking, you look at something and then you be like, okay, well, how can I do this better? I look at the iPhone. Companies look at the iPhone and be like, okay, what is the iPhone? What does it do exactly? Okay, how can we make a phone that does everything that the iPhone does, but a little bit better? That's what Samsung tries to do. Because if you notice, every time the iPhone comes out, Samsung comes out with their Galaxy right after the iPhone, because they literally watch what the fucking Apple does with their iPhone and see, okay, Apple has a fucking screen with no fucking with these borders on it. Okay, let's come out with a screen with no borders. Oh, Apple has a fucking push button. Let's come out with a phone that doesn't have a push button. Like, so it's basically like Uber, taxis. Okay, how can someone get a car without fucking waiting on a curb for like 30 minutes? And then there's going to be a point where people look at Uber and be like, okay, how can we make it to where you don't have to fucking even call a car? You know what I'm saying? Amazon, how can we deliver shit faster? Now they're coming out with drones where you can like order something and then the next day. In some places, Amazon delivers the shit the same fucking day with a drone. So.
Yeah, to my point, man. Eventually, someone's gonna figure it out. There's a lot of money involved in it, and someone's gonna fix it. Hopefully, sooner than later.
All right. Well, this is the point where I let my guests promote whatever the fuck they want to promote. So if you want to promote anything, your company, or if you want to fucking give a shout out to whoever, tell the people your Instagram, how they can follow you, your social media. They want to get in contact with you about anything about what we talked about. Feel free to do that. This is your little 5 minutes.
My little 5 minutes. I probably only need like 20 seconds, but yeah. If anyone wants, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I think it's Hesam _NAGHSH.
No one knows how to spell Hassan, so spell the whole Instagram shit out.
HESAM _NAGHSH. I forgot what my Twitter handle is, so if you really care, it's fucking. Actually, nah, it's on my Instagram. It's on my Instagram, so just go look at my Instagram if you want to follow me on Twitter. And besides that, man, listen to Jordan over here on Everyday Celebrity.
So, where can they reach you at if they want to apply for the job?
Well, they can holler at me via Twitter or Instagram. If you want to apply for a job, bro, like someone wants to become a VP or CEO, I ain't got like that type of pull.
Obviously, they ain't gonna come at you if they want to be a VP.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day,
I'm just talking about if they want to be a salesperson in your company.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if you want to specifically do that function within my team, then yeah, reach out to me.
And they reach out to you what?
Instagram, Twitter handles on the Instagram.
Company email.
Company email, bro. That shit is long, but if you want me to spell it out, it's HNAGHSHBA. And I told you, NDI@marquetta.com.
Got every alphabet.
I told you, man. Look, man. Anyone who really wants to reach out to me, it'd probably be easier if you just reach out via Twitter or Instagram. Yeah. So.
All right. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna say Niners, man.
All right, whatever. All right, what? All right. Anyway,
Oh, one last thing I need to say is, bro, you know damn well you trash at basketball, and I'm real nice, especially in the post. We know your jump shot is not nicer than mine. On defense, we know you can't guard me. And when I play defense, I'm like, goddamn, we're on a test. So, real shit, man. Don't lie to the people that listen to your podcast. The real reason why me and Jordan started hanging out was because he saw me on the court and he admired that. And I told my friend, I was like, yeah, bro, let's go to Starline. I'm gonna show you around a little bit, show you around the city, show you how the big homie does. And I took my guy under my wing. So.
Oh wow. Damn. You don't even believe that. That's why I'm not even going to respond.
That's facts.
That's not even going to respond.
That shit was the smoothest shit that came out of my tongue.
That's fine. All right. So, like he said, follow him on Instagram. Check him out. You have any tech questions, holla at him. If you want a job, send your resume to him.
Yeah. Be qualified too, man. I hate people that come to me. If you've been working at McDonald's for the last 10 years, bro, I probably can't help you get a job. But if you really
McDonald's is sales.
Hey, man,
it's called add-on sales.
Look,
you want supersized fries? Yeah, I'll take that.
No, you gotta look
at. You call
an
add-on sale. Man.
You gotta look at the qualifications, man. You gotta look at the qualifications. Take a chance on it,
like the motherfucker took a chance on you.
I take chances
qualified.
on people, but you gotta have some qualifications. So look at the qualifications if you really think you fit it. Holla at me.
I mean, well, what you could do is start at Everyday Celebrity Media. I'm taking applications for interns and shit. I need graphic designers. I need marketers. So you know what I'm saying? If you want to grow with this company before it becomes a $1 million company, holla at me. EverydayCelebrityMedia.com. Everyday Celebrity PO Instagram. My personal is Jordan Awandi on Instagram. Yeah. And like I said, this is the #1 podcast in the Bay Area. Soon to be the #1 podcast overseas. Soon to be the #1 podcast in the nation. And thank you for listening to Everyday Celebrity episode. I think this is episode 12, man. I don't even know, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We up there. We dropping these left and right. And I'm out. You.